Welcome to episode 9 of the No Narratives podcast. I'm with my boy Quinn. What's going on with you, man? How you been
What's
today?
good? What's good, man? What's good? Just trying to stay cool out here, man.
So, a lot has happened today in the NBA world. Two big stories. I can't remember the third one right now for the life of me. If I remember while we're recording, I will write it down. I will sidebar it and everything like that. All right, so Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Josh Giddey.
Man.
This is heartbreaking to me as a Rockets fan. I literally was talking to a friend of mine earlier about the importance about how much I wanted the Rockets to include the number 3 overall draft pick to get Caruso, to get Lonzo Ball, and OKC, which is pretty much Houston's rival and has been their rival since the James Harden trade going back to 2012. They got him. After finishing number 1 in the West, they got a 2-time all-defensive team, including last year, averaged 1.7 steals per game, 1 block per game, won a championship with the Lakers in 2020. This is a big-time move, man. What about you? What you think, man? Because I'm heartbroken.
Okay. So I understand why you, as a Houston Rockets fan, was looking forward to this. Caruso is a really nice piece, but I feel like it only would have mattered based on the progress that Jabari, Green, and Sengun would have made. But this trade is funny because I don't know what Chicago was thinking. Just from an acquisition of assets to build something standpoint, because they didn't get a first. They just now set the market for the rest of free agency. So I'm kind of hyped because if you a team and you trading in this current season, off season, Chicago didn't get a first, and OKC got. We all know OKC got a shitload of picks, right? And Chicago didn't get anything like that.
Well, the thing is, Josh Giddey was drafted 5th overall in the 2021 draft. So that's kind of like your first round pick right there.
But
I
Josh is at his
mean,
lowest value right now. He didn't really have a great last quarter of the season. He didn't really have a great playoff showing either. So it's kind of like, I mean, I would have asked for another first, at least one extra one.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
But
I was just looking at the details over the trade. I think Josh Giddey, when you put it into the context of him being on a playoff team that was a contender, yes, what value does he bring? But when you talk about him on the Chicago Bulls, on a rebuilding team, on a team where Kobe White finished second in most improved, on a team where Ayo Dosunmu closed the season out averaging, I think, like 17 points per game in his last 15 to 18 games or something crazy like that. You got young pieces. Now you can start this rebuild. I think Zach LaVine is next to go, as well as DeMar DeRozan. I think both of those guys are going to be out the door, and I think this is about to be the start. That's where they're going to get their picks from. Josh Giddey, while his value may be low to a team like OKC, I think that Josh Giddey to Chicago can help speed up this rebuild, and he can help. He is a lottery pick in himself. Like, prior to this postseason, Josh Giddey had promise. It wasn't until the last time we saw him that now everybody wants to say what they want to say about him, I guess. You know what I mean?
what is the plan like to rebuild and actually make Chicago a team, like an actual?
Mm.
Are you going to tank? Or are you going to just try to be mid and try to coast your way through the play-in? Like, what is the goal? But like you said, you could use DeRozan, and obviously they're trying to shop Levine to get some sort of assets back to help pair up with White. So I mean, I think for Chicago, really, it's a lot of things, because some of these trades aren't always about basketball, right? Like now they're off of the Lonzo contract, right? They don't have to
That's a good
worry about
move.
they don't have
And
to worry about
Caruso
that.
is an expiring deal, but he's eligible
Yeah,
for a 4-year deal worth 80 million, I believe, if I'm reading that correct. He's eligible for a 4-year extension. Yeah, worth $80 million
yeah,
extension.
and
Six
and,
six
and
months from now.
and I think Lonzo may get waived. I'm not sure, but it
Nah,
just it may or may not happen. But
I wouldn't wait. You wouldn't waive him in the last year of his deal. You would just eat that money and then come off of the books. It'll come off the books completely in the offseason. And you can still also trade that contract And like this was something that I was kind of saying for the Houston Rockets. I was like, best case scenario, Lonzo Ball plays. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he doesn't play and his contract comes off the books.
Yeah,
There's value either way you look at this. You know what I mean? And we know what Caruso is the white Drew Holiday. Like we know what he is. Like he's the white Drew Holiday. Like so I do believe that like OKC, in my opinion, won this trade especially for what they're trying to do and what they're trying to bring to the table. They won this deal for me, I think. But I'm just devastated, as like I said, as a Rockets fan, because I think that this I had this number one. There's 3 rumors going around. Obviously, this one is off the table now. The second one was Mikal Bridges, which I think will cost entirely too much draft capital. I'm not comfortable doing that. And the last one is the new one that emerged, I think today, was about trading for Marcus Smart, trading down, getting Marcus Smart and Memphis's number 9 overall pick for the number 3 overall pick this year, which I'm not really comfortable with. 1, because they're in our division. 2, because they're in our conference. And I just don't like deals like that unless it's something that's insurmountable. But yeah, so those are things I'm feeling down right now, man. I really am.
So is it more about you feeling down, or is it about you wanting to get rid of Fred the Barber?
Van Fleet? Because I don't know. Look, no, I'm not down on Fred Van Fleet. Like I'm not. His deal is essentially Lonzo Ball's deal this year. Yeah. He is on an expiring contract. Like it's a team option. So best case scenario, you decline the option. He's gone, $40 million off your books. Worst, and then the second best case scenario to me is he has a phenomenal season. You decline that last year, and then you extend him with less years for like a 2 or 3 year deal. That's the best case scenario. You feel what I'm saying? So, or another best case scenario, I should say. So, I'm not really down on Fred VanVleet. I just think that he's too small. Like I seen him get picked on versus Luka and Kyrie. I saw him get picked on versus the Clippers. Like I saw what bigger guards did to him down the stretch, and even though he can play defense, some things he just can't do because of his size and his frame. It's just simple as that. You know, so
that's why I say, like, are y'all ready to? Because why I said the whole thing with Houston is like I still feel like it's all dependent. No matter what y'all do, it's all dependent on the growth of obviously your 3 young players. And actually, I take back your 4 young players because I forgot about Amen Thompson.
But I think that when you have Alex Caruso, he helps make their job easier.
He does.
He doesn't need the ball. He can knock down the 3
to finish that gap, though. Caruso is going to bridge a gap, obviously, but those 4 have to figure out the rest of it.
Sure, I agree with you. I agree with you there, but I think Houston is just on the rise. Tari Eason, it cannot be overstated, or it cannot be stated enough. Like Tari Eason missing 50, 60 plus games this year was critical. Kevin Porter Jr. losing his mind before the season start was critical. Amen Thompson missed 20-something games, 30-something games, critical. And then Sengun missed the last 12, 13, 14 games of the year as well. Like, so these are big deals that like just get swept under the rug and not seen as important. But when you have health and you missing not just like bum players, but really quality key to the rotation type players, it's a really big deal. So, and despite that, Houston won 41 games. So, you know, I'm only thing I see is up from here. I think everybody comes back better next season. I truly believe that. And I think Alex Caruso would have helped. And I think if Lonzo Ball was healthy, he could have helped. 6'6", can play defense, can hit the 3, another 9-ball dominant guard. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just my opinion, man. I guess we should move on before I get too depressed. I know you're passionate about this. We were having a back and forth about this earlier, man. We were having a back and forth, and I was like, you know what? Let's save it for the damn podcast because I don't want you wasting all of your takes, all of your energy, and all of your passion on Facebook Messenger yelling at me. So I thought, let's do the pod, but let me break the news first. Obviously, it's been broke, but let me break it here. JJ Redick signs a 4-year deal to become the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. I really don't think anybody's surprised here. Tell me how you feel, and then I'm going to tell you how I feel, man.
So I'm surprised, only because the Lakers front office once again just kind of like it didn't feel like they did their due diligence, like from a whole spectrum. Um, People are going off because they think LeBron is a mastermind. Like people think that like I don't want to say like LeBron's gotten coaches fired before. I can admit that. He's gotten coaches hired before. I can admit that. But when I'm a person who values facts over confirmation bias, I think everybody wants this to be true so they can just troll on social media. But literally every person has reported that he has nothing to do with this. Like, just throw out Rich Paul and LeBron, right? Dave McMenamin, the Lakers beat writer, has direct source with the Lakers FO, says he's not involved. Javon Buha, with the Athletic, connected with Shams, says he doesn't have any input. Both Woj and Shams have said he doesn't have any input, but I'm supposed to believe Negroes on Facebook with memes over these professional dudes with actual sources. So it's kind of crazy to me that like I'm supposed to believe in people that are just making this shit up. When if you look at the entire story, the entire timeline, I mean, the Lakers just kept all that stuff in house. They kept the. I really don't think he walked in there, put a gun to everybody's head, and said hire JJ. I mean, I think it's as simple as the Lakers saw a coach who had rapport with one of their best players and was interested. Also, lost in all this entire thing is they hired Coach K as a consultant. Who do you think was whispering in their ear about JJ that whole time? The whole Dan Hurley thing, right? The Lakers, their owner, is one of the most cash poor owners in the league. People will say the Hurley thing was a smokescreen for JJ. No. The fact is the Lakers could not afford to give Dan Hurley a number that would make him leave UConn. Because if you want someone like that, you have to pay them so much that they can't turn it down. You cannot offer them what it was when you factor in income tax, state income tax. It's essentially the same deal that he would have got at UConn. I think it was like what 5 years, 70 mil. Like no, he needed to be making like probably 20 to 25 for him to uproot his family, go away
25
from.
million?
Bro, yes, you would have. I think if you would have offered him between 5 to 7 year, $100 million plus contract, he says, okay, fine, I'll go do it. I don't think you could have paid him, basically like the same money that Monty Williams got to leave what he built in UConn and come to the Lakers. I don't think you would have had to shell out a lot of money, and I'm not even hating on the Lakers. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. It is what it is. I don't have $500 million. I mean, They gave him an offer. He obviously, yes, negotiation wise, he probably went to the Lakers to get more money, but at the end of the day, the Lakers didn't make an offer that he couldn't refuse. That's why he's not the coach. And JJ obviously JJ said something in those meetings that really resonated with that front office. The people don't really understand like the characters in that front office, right? You've got Jeannie Buss, right? So she hires her GM and president of basketball operations was Kobe's agent, Rob Pelinka, or as I like to call him, Rob Lowe, because they look alike. So you got him. She also relies on Kurt Rambis's wife, Linda Rambis. She relies on so many other voices besides herself as the majority owner to make these decisions. And these aren't really like people think that, LeBron is over there running the show. Like, no, they've told him to fuck off several times. They've also acquiesced to what he's asked before too. So I don't understand how it's suddenly not possible that he didn't have anything to do with it. Because I guarantee you, the people who say that, oh, he has to have done it. If you're saying it's not true because Woj or Shams said it, right? Then why do you believe in them when they say the Lakers are interested in the trade and it's just a rumor?
Okay. So
you know what I'm saying? Like you're picking and choosing what to believe in, using confirmation bias to say this is happening, but the Lakers have already done stuff historically without his input. They've also made ridiculous decisions that like on their own, prompted on their own. So it sounds weird to act like they can't make that decision on their own. And also reports from like I said, also there have been reports that Anthony Davis had input on this hire. I mean, and that's really who should be having input on this because he's the young star. He's the franchise player. He's the one they're going to have to invest their money in. So he's the one who's had conversations with Rob Pelinka about who he wants to hire. And I mean, ultimately, like the Lakers, they were either going to have to hire an assistant with no experience or hire JJ. I mean, somebody was probably going to hire JJ. The Hornets, and probably not the Cavs, but like, you know, like this stuff was already
all right.
Things. So
all right, man. Look, so
yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I know. I'm gonna say no. I wanted you to go. So that's you. You good? Okay. Woj, Shams, and all of these guys do a lot of bidding for players, agents, and teams all the time. What they say may have truth behind it, but there's always a motive or somebody pushing something towards them to get something done. I don't believe for a single second, unless it was a ridiculous contract offer of $25 million, that Dan Hurley ever seriously was thinking or considering taking the Lakers job. He put that out there. His team, his agent, his wife, his kids, somebody put that number out there or put that interview out there to raise some type of alarms in UConn to get him back in UConn. He did that as a purely leverage move. Woj was accurately tweeting stuff, but it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen per se. Dave McMenamin is a name that you use. Dave McMenamin is not clutch, but he might as well be clutch, bro.
He's listen a Lakers to beat writer. You know
he's a Lakers. I know.
What does that mean? So why do you think a Lakers beat writer would like? Do you think he's
Dave
biased?
McMenamin? Dave. I think that he has certain biases to him. Correct. Absolutely, bro.
Before he was a Lakers beat writer, he obviously wrote for somebody because like
I understand what you're saying. So, I'm not saying that I'm not saying he always had access like this. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is where to me, where there's smoke, there's fire. I will give you an example so off base. It has nothing to do with LeBron James. Soon as Russell Westbrook left the Houston Rockets, all these stories came out. Harden was late to film sessions. They had to start over or not even start the film sessions on time because he was always late. There were stories about when Russell Westbrook, he just want to have a ball in his hands more. He wants to be more of a natural point guard, and it didn't. That's why it didn't work out in Houston. Who do you think was funneling Woj this information? It was Russell Westbrook's agent and his people. Not saying that it's not true, but they like Woj. Who funneled? Daryl Morey funneled him that information? Did Harden funnel him that information to make himself look bad? Like it's all these guys use the media to set up different things. This has been done since the beginning of time. I'm not faulting LeBron James, bro. But optics-wise, you
were acting like the Lakers. Like I just told you, who's in that brain trust over there?
I understand, bro. The Lakers. I'm not saying that they listen to everything. When they was going, LeBron wanted Tyronn Lue. They were going to hire him, but they lowballed him. Second, they also wouldn't let him pick his own coaching staff. I don't think that had anything to do with LeBron. I think that's bad Lakers management. Period. I will give you that. I will tell you when I believe something directly involves LeBron and when it doesn't. This is a situation, bro.
This is you versus like everybody who's actually directly plugged in with the situation.
No, bro, because
how is it not,
okay.
Bro?
Let's take it to music. Let's take it to music. Drake funnels academics information. Do you think that academics is going to post or say anything negative to fuck up his connection and his direct line to Drake? He's not going to do that. Drake is feeding him info. He is Drake's mouthpiece. He's Drake's mouthpiece.
All right,
This
bro.
is what Woj does. Woj is not LeBron's mouthpiece. Shams is not LeBron's mouthpiece.
Right.
But I guarantee you, his agent, whoever LeBron, Rich Paul, all these guys. What do you think this information? Bronny only working out for the Suns and the Lakers. You think that like LeBron don't have nothing to do with that? Like you think that like none like he just this is not an indictment. To me, this is not an indictment on LeBron, bro.
To me, this
is not an indictment on him.
It's just confirmation bias.
How
you've seen
optics.
No, you've seen these things happen in the past, right? With LeBron, you therefore, without any factual information, you negate it all. You throw it like a Trump supporter, right? You will look facts straight in your face, right? These are both clutch and non-clutch mouthpieces, bro. Bro, both sides are saying the same thing.
Quinn,
so
if you are dead in the street and you are bleeding out and it's a gun next to you and I'm standing over you with a gun pointing it at you and the police pull up and I didn't do it, everybody else is saying I didn't do it. Optics wise, how does it look, Jeff? How does it look?
Do we see LeBron actually go in there and say hire JJ Redick? Does anybody have a
nobody ever has seen? Have we ever seen him say fire Mike Brown, fire Frank Vogel, fire Darvin Ham? Have we seen him say it
on Twitter, on Facebook? I see it all the time that he allegedly walked in there, said go buy Mike Brown.
He said that. LeBron said that.
That's what y'all say about
I never said that.
I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying like that's what those people say about that. So like,
and for the record, Anthony Davis may have had something to do with JJ Redick, bro. Okay, let's go to the other example
I only said AD has something to do with it because it was reported he did.
Let's go to the other example I used though. Let's go to the other example I used. You already know this example. Let me just say it for the content. Everybody argue me down when I said Kevin Durant had something to do with Kenny Atkinson being fired in Brooklyn. Kevin Durant was the reason why Steve Nash, with no coaching experience, got a job in Brooklyn because they were close, and it was reported before he even left Golden State that he and Steve Nash were close in Golden State, him being the shooting coach or the consultant or something like that. Something like that, right? Kevin Durant goes to Brooklyn. Immediately, Steve Nash goes to Brooklyn. Am I supposed to ignore the smoke and say that's not a fire when I see Kevin Durant attached to the hip with Steve Nash? Am I supposed to say because Woj didn't say it or he did say it, hey, Kevin Durant had nothing to do with that? Am I supposed to ignore common sense? Am I not supposed to read in between the lines? I got eyes, Woj. I got eyes, Shams.
First of all, all that was reported up until he got hired. So it wasn't like you had to suspect anything. It was all said before.
Where was it reported that Kevin Durant?
It was reported.
I want you to post. Send me the link, and in the description, I am going to post. No, you ain't gotta. Yeah, you ain't gotta do it now. I'm saying whenever you get a chance, when we are done recording, I am going to post that link in the description. I want to know exactly where it said Kevin Durant told the Nets to hire Steve Nash. That was not. I didn't see that reported in it. If it did, I hold KD accountable. I would have posted it. So many people pushed back on me saying Kevin Durant had no power. He had nothing to do with DeAndre Jordan getting a starting job and pushing Jared Allen to the bench. He had nothing to do with DeAndre, even though they played on the Olympic team together, and that's when they became close friends. He had nothing to do with DeAndre Jordan's $40 million contract, $20 million per year. He had nothing to do with that.
That was all reported.
It wasn't reported. It was common sense.
It was reported that he had a hand in DeAndre Jordan's starting and the money he got. It was reported that
I don't remember that being
preferred Steve being there. It was reported that him and Kyrie weren't that fond of Kenny Atkinson. I mean, Kenny Atkinson, like, when did he get fired from the Nets? It wasn't that long. It wasn't immediately.
But he and I called Kevin Durant a liar because he said one of the reasons why he went to Brooklyn was because of the culture that they had established and the coaching staff. But yet, as soon as you got there, you destroyed the culture and the coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I'm holding guys accountable. I'm not, even if LeBron had, let's just say hypothetically speaking, bro, I'm right. And LeBron went into the locker room, put his hand around Rob Pelinka's neck, and said, hire JJ Redick. I wouldn't be mad at him. Because that's what players with power do. You don't think Donovan Mitchell has something to do with JB Bickerstaff getting the axe? All of a sudden, as soon as they get eliminated, all these stories coming out. Oh, practice was bad. I didn't like the way he practiced us. He practiced us too hard. Blah, 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 blah. You don't think Donovan Mitchell had anything to do with that reporting? You don't think his agent leaked that, or Darius Garland's agent, or anybody that had a problem with JB Bickerstaff, or the Cavs themselves leaked that info?
Because of one very crucial story, it was reported that Donovan had almost the most power in the organization. So yes, I would believe that because that was reported.
LeBron has power he has just as much, if not more.
We didn't know he had
in the Lakers
until that article came out. I mean, yes, LeBron has power. I'm not denying he doesn't. I've never said he doesn't. I just said in this particular instance, everybody has put out information that, hey, he's staying away from this. He's letting y'all do your thing. I mean, obviously he'll co-sign it or whatever.
It just doesn't make sense why they would sign.
But
why would you hire him?
Why would he have direct input and he only has 3 years left in the league, if that?
The Lakers, if what you say is true, the Lakers are the dumbest front office in history. You have a championship, quote unquote, I don't believe they are, but you have a championship contending roster and you hire a coach who has no coaching experience. Even if JJ Redick is the second coming of Phil Jackson and Pat Riley combined, he has 0 coaching experience. Optically, that does not look smart.
So you're forgetting one crucial detail in this whole story. The Lakers hired Coach K as a consultant during this when the coaching search started.
A consultant.
So how does that have to do?
A consultant consults you. They don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you what to do.
They hired him specifically for the coaching search.
I understand that, but that doesn't. If he had 3 coaches and he said these are the top 3 candidates, he didn't say draft JJ Redick. And even if he did, you are a consultant. You are consulting me. If you're my consultant, my financial consultant, you're telling me I don't think that's a wise purchase. That don't mean that I'm gonna listen. It's the same thing with hiring a coach.
I said this. I said I don't know what the hell he's saying in there to beat people like David Alderman, Micah Nori, James Borrego, Chris Quinn. I said I don't understand what the fuck. I mean, JJ's a smart player, a smart person. I'm not saying he's dumb or incompetent, but it's just like you don't even know your weaknesses as a coach until the game starts.
Listen, I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait and see on JJ Redick.
Obviously, he could get good assistance and make this up, but I'm just saying like. The Lakers have done stupid shit on their own without LeBron's input before. So why is it somehow not plausible that he didn't?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I agree with you. The Lakers have been incompetent for a large part of the decade. They've been incompetent since Kobe Bryant pretty much tore his Achilles. They have been incompetent. I'm not denying that. But what I'm saying is this optically doesn't look right. This doesn't look right.
Of course.
Darvin Ham was on the hot seat all year. The Mind the Game podcast came out March 19th.
So
I think, what are we talking about?
Right after Ham got fired, you saw all these reports about people in the Lakers FO really upset with how he handled the roster, especially Pelinka, because they felt like they had a good roster. And I also felt like they had a good roster. I felt like Ham was, I also felt like Ham was a bad coach during the Westbrook tenure. So I'm not. It's not brand new for me, but you heard reports of
this dude got
their dissatisfaction with Darvin. So I kind of don't know. Like it's like people don't believe when these people put a report saying, "Hey, we didn't like the way he coached," and people say, "Oh no, he was fine." LeBron something. I'm like the people who hired him said they didn't like him. Like what are we?
I understand. Anthony Davis definitely didn't like Darvin Ham. I'm only listening. I'm not really listening to the role players in this, but the only thing that I say is that same roster got you to the Western Conference Finals. Exactly. Now, obviously, they had favorable matchups last year. I will admit that. They had favorable matchups, but they got to the conference finals nonetheless, and they lost to the champions. Cool. The next season, everybody loved these moves. Gabe Vincent was hurt the entire season. Jared Vanderbilt was hurt the entire season. So now you're putting all of that blame at the feet of Darvin Ham. Like, it to me, I'm not saying he was a perfect coach. I'm not saying he was a good coach. I don't know. I didn't watch enough Lakers games to even know. I'm just saying that there is context. You say people pick and choose when they want to ignore context. The Lakers are doing that right here. They're doing that right here. They ignore the coach. They fired a coach that lost to the champions, the reigning champions. We didn't know Denver was going to lose to Minnesota. Everybody thought Denver was going to beat Minnesota. Everybody thought that for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? So they lost to the defending champions and the first-time champions 2 years back to back, and that they placed that at the feet of Darvin Ham.
No, they not the Denver lost. I mean, it's more than just that. It's like a lot leading up to that.
This has been fireworks, bro. I can't look. I gotta cut it right now, bro, because we going on 32 minutes, bro. People not gonna watch that much. But I had to talk about this with you because I know you passionate, and I wish we could talk about this longer. Like, I'm gonna figure out a way to start converting these to audio. That way people can just listen to it and shit, no audio. But I don't know, bro. I don't see. I'm not saying you're wrong. This doesn't look good. You are caught right now with a gun in your hand and somebody's dead, and you're like, I didn't do it.
Well, the thing is, so here's the problem. He would have got blamed no matter what.
I don't think that's true. If they hire James Borrego, nobody is saying that's a LeBron hire. If they hire Chris Quinn, nobody is saying that's a LeBron hire. Whoever else you want to name, who else can we name? Monty Williams. That nobody is saying that's a LeBron hire. Dan Hurley, nobody's saying this. JJ Redick, it looks like a LeBron hire. Just looks like it, bro.
He was already trying to coach before they had the podcast, though.
I'm not saying that he was not, but you got this job before after the podcast that you did with LeBron James, bro. If it looked like a fish and it swim like a fish, it's not a turtle. Like, that's all I'm saying, my dude. That's all I'm saying. Okay, man. I'm gonna let you rock out, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. I can't with you, bro. This topic in particular.
No, I agree.
The
optics look bad, but I don't think it's as.
This is terrible.
Because trust me, bro. If it was, bro, this is like I said. This is like some Game of Thrones shit, bro. This is like some little finger backstab you in the fucking hallways of the castle type shit. Like,
yeah, man.
If he really did, bro, I gotta clap for the dude, bro, because I've never seen somebody get assassinated like that so cold blooded, bro. Like, that is crazy. That's cutthroat. Like, he needs to be a politician.
All right, man. Look, because episode 9 is in the books.
All right, man.
This is going on the No Narratives podcast. This is also going on my Red Nation Blogger channel as well. Thank y'all for watching. Quinn, thank you for showing up, bro. I really appreciate it. I love your passion with this topic. I had to get you on. But hey, thank you for joining. Hey, y'all, like and subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment, just comment.
Yeah, even if y'all want to clown me, comment, roast me, do it all.
Count it.
Do it all.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Out.
All right, later.